What's going on, crafty nistas? So today's tutorial, I'm going to go over how I took these fabric plain white shoes and jazzed them up a little bit. This theme was for a bridal or a wedding, but these shoes can also be used for any special occasion. So I'm just going to use some lace from scrap projects that I had done before. And going to use some loose pearls from my stash and jazz the shoe up with them. I'm also going to use some embellishments with pearls on it. I use those with the button and cut the loopholes off, and I'm also showing you that flat backs can also be used, but I kind of did this as I went, so I didn't end up using the flat back. I also have clips. I didn't use those in the tutorial, it won't be shown, but I did use that at certain points to hold down my fabric. E6000 glue was my buddy putting those jewels on. Gonna need scissors. I use those wire cutters to cut off the back of the buttons, and brushes. The brushes were used with along with the Mod Podge. I used the gloss, gives it a nice sheen. And as I'm showing here, how the clip can be used to hold down the fabric. So here I am giving a good whip of that Mod Podge and just putting it down to have the lace adhere just ever so slightly, and I'll go back over and seal it down later, but working a little bit at a time just to get a good initial placement. Working that brush ever so slightly, not to put too much on it. If you're using a nude shoe or any other color, especially, probably wouldn't use a sponge brush, but since I'm using white, it's not so bad. As you can see here, when I actually went over it, I didn't want to make sure I didn't get too much on it, so I didn't use a sponge brush. Raking it over ever so slightly and making sure I adhere the two back pieces very well. Hard to get that camera shot when you're trying to eyeball it and get it to adhere pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get it all real good. I've got one shoe done, and let's just show you how you pull the fabric, tug it one way, and then adhere and pull it the other way to get the top of the toe. Didn't show my X-Acto knives, but I did use an X-Acto knife at times after it dried to pull off the fabric from the bottom. Here's when I'm using those cutters to cut off the loop from the button. With the E6000, it takes a while for it to cure, and when it cures, it holds very well. But before it does, it's very flexible, adjustable. So when you're trying to put on something that big as that embellishment, you want to make sure you get it in good. So I'm putting it on, but I'm holding it in pretty good to try to make sure that it stays. But when doing these little pearls, it came in very nicely because I was able to line them up and move them ever so slightly to make sure they were good and straight. Once I got a good straight line going, I went on and just put the E6000 straight on the shoe itself. And then, like I said there, I'm lining it up to make sure that it goes good. Filling in that last hole and got the pearls all nice and lined up and adjusting as I needed. Decided to go ahead and put another strip on the back of the shoe, getting my pearls all lined up. And there's that flexibility again. Before they cure, you can go ahead and make sure they're lined up. And to finish off the shoes, I went on and took some clear rhinestones and jazzed up that heel a bit. So if you like this project, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.